That's fucked up, Donald Trump, man. He ain't right, man. He cut the food stamps off. That was wrong, man. When he cut them food stamps off, I didn't see nobody posting no plates that week. Motherfuckers used to be on there. I got that mashed potato with the rice, with the gravy. They was posting God quotes all that week.
SNAP benefits will only be paid out when the government is reopened.
That piece of shit orange loser of Donald Trump, he announced today on Truth Social that he is not going to be giving out any SNAP benefits. Yesterday it was half, today it is nothing. He said that he is not going to release any SNAP benefits until the government reopens. So it's quite evident that this man gives zero fucks about anybody, and it's quite evident that he is using SNAP benefits as a political pawn in this dispute that he has ongoing with Democrats. Democrats, once again, they are only voting to keep the government shut down because they're trying to save our fucking health subsidies or get them extended or something so we don't have to fucking pay an arm and a leg for health insurance. But no, that orange piece of shit, now he is going to hold food from fucking families that actually need it. But this is a court order, so I'm hoping that we can go in there, drag his orange ass out of there, and arrest that piece of shit.
Can you help clear up some confusion about SNAP benefits? Because
Sure.
The president just posted that they will only be given out when the radical left Democrats open the government and not before. But just yesterday, the administration said it would comply with the court order to expend the full amount of SNAP contingency funds by end of business day yesterday. So did the administration distribute that money or defy that court order?
No, the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money because the Democrats have forced the administration into a very untenable position. We are digging into a contingency fund that is supposed to be for emergencies, catastrophes, for war. And the president does not want to have to tap into this fund in the future. And that's what he was referring to in his Truth Social post. So the Department of Agriculture, as for the latest SNAP payment in the judge's order, put out guidance to states today on how to get that money to the recipients of SNAP. But it's going to take some time. The best way to get the full amount of SNAP benefits to those beneficiaries is for Democrats to reopen the government. So to anyone who is a SNAP beneficiary at home who needs that assistance, and the president was just saying, this is for people who are truly needy, who need food, who need this assistance from the United States government. Democrats are holding it up and making it difficult for the administration to get those payments out the door. So if you are at home and you want your SNAP benefits, call the Democrats and tell them to reopen the government.
Hey family, welcome back to the channel where we unpack the truth behind the headlines with zero sugarcoating and a whole lot of receipts. Now, if you're new here, grab your popcorn and buckle up because today's story is shaking every kitchen and table across America because we are talking about food, survival, and a political power move that's got millions of Americans staring at empty EBT cards. Yeah, so let's talk about why Donald Trump refuses to release SNAP benefits and how it's about to hit the very people who screamed MAGA the loudest.
Stopping Medicaid and food supplement, nutritional supplement, SNAP benefits right before the holiday season is 1,000% intentional. 1,000%. So that means it is either going to be epically late as a part of collective punishment. And they announced it right before No King's Day on the 18th, because there's supposed to be a huge march going on the 18th, just as a warning to everybody. They announced it on the 18th, or they announced it the day before the 18th, or a couple days before the 18th, that there's a huge possibility that there will not be any SNAP benefits for November or December, or it'll be epically late.
And then the USDA just yesterday said we're going to at least partially fund this. So what is this?
I don't know what this is, but if I were looking at this as one of the plaintiffs in these lawsuits, I would certainly bring this to the attention of Judge John McConnell in Rhode Island. Already as it is, the plaintiffs to that lawsuit have notified him that the USDA hasn't complied with that order. And he directed the government unambiguously to either fund the full SNAP benefit by Monday or to the extent that they were only going to rely on one pool of available funds and not the other, that they at least had to partially pay them by today. And now, of course, you have the president in this Truth Social post suggesting that his government is not going to pay any of the SNAP benefits until the shutdown is resolved.
It feels good to know I'm not alone here. It feels good to know that other people feel like the government shouldn't be supporting their whole lifestyle, shouldn't be, allowing them to not work, allowing them to be lazy, allowing them to just fuck around. It's generational welfare that concerns me. There's no longer generational wealth. It's generational welfare. And that's sad. It really is. And honestly, I blame our country. I blame our country for allowing this shit. I believe that our country should not almost promote it. I feel like we're promoting this type of behavior by some of these people make a better living not working than they do working. They get more money in food stamps and housing assistance, and they get free cell phones, all these things. They even get paid disability checks. For what? Because they don't want to work. Like that's crazy, and our government allows it. That's the craziest part for me, honestly.
I'm going to keep this simple and clear. SNAP was supposed to stop November 1st because the government ran out of money during the shutdown. Congress did not make a deal. They argued instead of funding the program. SNAP helps about 42 million people, and it usually gives around $187 a month per person for food. The USDA said it would run out of money and millions of people would lose help. But two judges stepped in, one judge in Rhode Island and one in Massachusetts. They told the USDA to use $5 billion in emergency funds to keep SNAP going. That is good news. But here's what matters. SNAP needs about $9 billion each month to pay everyone. So $5 billion is not enough to cover the full month for all families. That means most people should still get benefits, but some may get money late or not the full amount right away. Some states are stepping in to help. For example, New York said their funding will support 56 million meals, but states cannot do this forever. Also, remember, this has never happened in SNAP history. SNAP has not been paused since it began in 1964. So yes, this is serious. The goal is, again, not to scare you. It's to help you be ready. So use what you have wisely, check your card, watch updates in your state. Right now, support is still coming, just not the normal way. And moments like this show us something important. We cannot depend on one system forever.
When Trump first campaigned on America First, many Americans, especially those in working class and rural communities, believed he was talking about them. And they believed their struggles would finally be seen. That's their jobs, their farms, and even their families. But fast forward to today, and we are watching an administration that's playing political chess with food stamps. That is SNAP benefits. And something millions depend on, not just for comfort, but basically for survival. And here's the cold, hard reality. Trump had made it clear, no new releases of federal SNAP support, not now, not soon. And while this might sound like just another budget freeze at some, it's a gut punch to millions on low-income families, many of whom voted for him. And so states that went deep red in 2020 are now facing the consequences of that decision, because grocery prices are through the roof, inflation biting harder than ever, and even local pantries are seeing lines stretch longer than Black Friday sales. But let's not get it twisted. This isn't just about food. It's about control. It's about testing how far political loyalty can stretch when bellies start to grow. Now, because of all the talk about fiscal responsibility and draining the swamp, this move drains something much deeper: human dignity. Now, Trump's base once believed they were exempt from the chaos. But now the very communities that cheered the loudest are realizing that you can't eat political promises. And there's an eerie irony here. The same working class families who stood behind tough love policies are learning that when it comes to hunger, the pain doesn't care who you voted for, really. And so food insecurity is really skyrocketing. Single mothers, veterans, disabled citizens, people who just need a hand to make it through the month are being told to wait to survive on less, to tighten their belts, while billionaires get tax breaks. Now, what's even more chilling, that there is no official plan in sight to restart SNAP expansions. That means kids going to school hungry, families skipping meals, and even local economies shrinking because people simply can't afford to buy what they need. And so Trump isn't just withholding benefits, he's making a statement. And it's politics over people. And while his supporters may clap at the headlines, they'll soon realize that hunger doesn't recognize party lines. And so as we watch this unfold, the real question becomes, how far can loyalty go before it starts to taste like betrayal? Because when the shelves are empty and the EBT cards are useless, people start asking harder questions, and history shows us that when the real revolution begins.